because the harassment doesn't work, and then she has no eco upgrades. Then the guy, instead of the opponent, instead of getting like army or sorry, instead of getting upgrades, she just spams army, and then she has to get upgrades, and then she's too late to the party.
Yeah.
But in these games, they're both playing the same style, except I would say Lyra had better early openers, so she puts pressure on her opponent, and then it works out, right? She gets a villager kill, she gets idle time, so it kind of snowballs. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know, like I haven't seen her ladder games, I'm pretty sure she struggles against defensive players that don't take early damage.
Yeah, makes
Because
sense.
you can see these games, like when she kills stuff, she snowballs and she ends the game, which is how you're supposed to play. But if it doesn't work, that's probably her weakness where she might like fall apart and not know how to transition.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think a lot of players sometimes struggle just going from, oh, it's I'm attacking, I'm winning, to, oh, I lost that fight. Maybe what do I do next?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear the game sounds ding 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 ding. Unless Cow is baiting us. He's not baiting us again. Lyralia on AU bids with Peps now on the Byzantines. This is Lipany.
Oh, I haven't played Lipany in so long.
Yeah, we chose Lipany because it was quite a popular map
wow,
back in the day.
Ayubid versus Byzantines. What were the options? Do we know?
Yes, let me just open the thingy. Give me 1 second. It is in my very high production Discord.
Okay, so it was Jeanne d'Arc and Ayubid versus Byzantine and Ayubid. So I guess no to Jeanne d'Arc and to Ayubid. So it's going to be Ayubid versus Byzantine, which they're like the polar opposites of each other. Like Byzantines is a slower civ, and Ayubid can rush castle like extremely fast. Which I don't know what Lyra is going to do. But if she decides to do the Ayubid castle rush, like the 630 completed age up, then Byzantines, the best thing you can probably do is try to rush castle yourself, because you don't have any units to effectively deal with like Gulams or Camel Lancers. I mean, you can make limit an A, but that ain't it.
What about the going for something other than the horse landmark as Byzantines on this map or on this matchup?
I mean, you could like I don't. The thing is, if you go Hippodrome, so Lyra will most likely go military wing if she plays like what the meta is. Again, I don't know if she's gonna do that, but if you go military wing, then Byzantines has to make like archer range in order to defend. But if you go for the Hippodrome, then you can push back the camels with horsemen and then put pressure on the Ayubid. So Hippodrome in this matchup is actually a better choice. Simply because you don't need to make any production buildings and you can just defend with the Hippodrome. So we'll see what they go for.
That I thought
horsemen kill desert raiders.
Yeah, but not camel lancers.
Yeah, that is a Hippodrome, so that's a good choice. And
she's an eco wing.
That is an eco wing.
Every single game.
So now Hippodrome is not a good choice.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that I mean, it's not necessarily not a good choice. She can still go harass with it, but now all Lyra needs to do is make a tower on the gold, and that Hippodrome will be pretty useless because later on you don't want to make cavalry against Ayubid. So.
And one thing that you guys need to remember, if you are playing Ayubids or Ayubids, if you get Eco Wing, you don't want to mine out any of your berries at the beginning, because the moment you age up with Eco Wing, you get an extra set of berries, or an extra 50 berries, or 50 or 100 berries. I think it's 50. Yeah, 50 berries per bush. So now what's happening is she already mined out 2. So that's like 100 food loss, which is, it doesn't sound massive, right? It's 1 horseman. But 1 horseman makes a massive difference.
There's so many things like that in AOE4 that you can do better, So what I usually do with Ayubid is when you do go Eco Wing, like when the berry gets like to 50 food, you just move the villagers to another 1. So then when you age up, even though that berry is on 50 food, even if it's on 1 food, when you age up, it will give you 50 extra. So yeah, I mean, she already vacuumed 3 of them, so
she's snacking.
That's 150 food, and in theory, it doesn't take a lot of skill to do that. I mean, you just click off your villagers, right? But it's there's a lot of those things you got to do in AOE4 that add up.
And see, I'm always trying to like divide.
And this is a castle rush, by the way, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's all she does. She's a castle rush connoisseur. Um, but what I really like, or what I like, is to see the commonalities between what separates them from advancing to the next rank. And I think that is one of the things that you're mentioning now, the berries. Berries is something that I also struggled with on Aobits, but then you told me 3 times about this fact, and then it's kind of stuck after a while. So I appreciate that. Thank you for speeching me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Speeching me?
Yeah, giving me
Is that a
speeches.
term?
Yeah, I think that. I think so.
Oh, we only see one sister, by the way. She has enough for second. So we'll see if that comes into play. But yeah, I mean, advancing from Diamond to Conqueror, from Conqueror 1 to 3, or from Conqueror to Pro Plays, it's never really like one thing where it's like, oh, if she just made this faster, she would have been. Yeah, it's just a bunch of small things and then consistency, and it all adds up, and then you're suddenly higher rank. Most of the time, people don't notice when they go from Diamond 3 to Conqueror 1 or 2. Like, if you really look at it, there's not that big of a difference, but it's just a bunch of small things.
The horse comes in. All right, Lyralia, let's see.
She can kill that.
4, 3, 2. Okay. That was a 6-second timer for the reaction. And this is something that she can now take and be like, oh, okay. When raid, be a little bit faster on those. Berries, don't deplete the bush.
Yeah.
Small things. Not
There's
massive.
there's a lot of good stuff that can be done there. Is there a tower on the gold?
A tower on the gold?
No, there's
No.
not. That horseman is okay. See, Peps just saw that, so she should be going around to the gold, and this might turn out to be a little bit of a problem. If she goes to the Knight of Gold, then she won't be able to make any units in castle because she's already aging up, and that's because Ayubid culture wing is interesting, and that is barracks, if I'm not mistaken. So it is going to be just Gulams straight away. So she's not playing around. And this is why I was talking about earlier. There's nothing that Byzantines can really do against this. The one thing you can do is maybe go for Keshiks, or even better, if I mean this is like so like high level optimizing that even like I forget about this all the time, but you could technically check the neutral markets and see if there's Musafati warriors, and then build mercenaries there and get Musafati warriors to defend yourself. But
that sounds amazing.
oh, that's gonna be late tower, and that's gonna be 2 villagers down, 3 villagers down, and now she should just stay there. She has healing on, so she should just delay the gold as much as possible.
Now, this is something that a lot of people struggle with, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. When you're playing against Aobids that's going fast castle, and you're nowhere near going fast castle, that means you have made units. You need to stay on them.
Oh, there it is, Musafati warriors behind their base. That's funny.
And this is now your time where you have to keep them off of resources. You know Aobids needs external food. You know Aobids needs to go for gold. Stay on them. Don't let them get food, and you can actually survive that push. Most of us just stand back, we stay in our base, and we're like, oh, they're coming. What am I going to do? Attack. Attack. But don't attack head on. Attack the sides.
Okay, so Peps, I'm not sure what contract she went. I'm pretty sure it was Keshik contract, but I'm not sure, actually. Can we check that? Oh, it's the longbow. Okay, that's not going to help her too much. But yeah, right now, see, she did a pretty good job, like denying some gold, killing some stuff. But aging up is a must, because the longer this game goes, if there's no age up from Byzantines, the Gulams are gonna keep massing and massing until the point where, there's just too many.
And do you think that she's not really in a position to do so now? She's producing. Oh, she stopped producing units now for a few moments, but she needs to use them. She needs to go and raid and do some damage. She did kill the advantage that the eco wing gave her. It's like the 3 villages, but now, the spearman is coming in. And remember, horses can take spearmen if there's not enough of them, and these can take them. She needs to A move. She needs to A move. But the villagers are pulled off of gold for a few moments.
Alright, we do see some walls coming out. I mean, her base is in a really, really good spot. So now when there's this many units, you can just wait for like 5-6 more Gulams and then just go. But I think Pips is trying to age up. I think she just transferred those on Deer. So the food income should jump up quite a bit. Oh, but there's Gulams already. Wait, when
Mm.
did they make it across the map?
And unfortunately, those villages will go down. Oh, this one is just running around. Little bit of a boodle, eh? I mean, the longbow's a bold choice, right? Oh, those archers. No, those are archers.
Those are archers, and
Why?
Gulams don't have +1 ranged armor, by the way. So
Mm.
the TC is going to do a little bit of damage. She is intercepting some Gulams, which is nice, but this is kind of what I was talking about. When you play against Ayubid, if you play a Civ that doesn't have answer to armored units, even if you have units who did some damage, the longer this goes, you need to get out to castle. Now she has enough food, but the gold is stopped because those villagers just died there. So if she had enough to age up, she can go into crossbows or maybe cataphract, something like that. And the villagers are running right now.
They are running for back gold because the front gold is in a very dire position, and I can imagine this is going to be the turning point for her. The thing is, she does have now some units to defend this. Those things are starting to take a lot less damage, and the ranged upgrades are coming in at the moment. Now, spearmen coming in, and those archers are going to need to target fire, and as we know, they do that pretty well. But she needs to move them back, shoot. Hey.
Who is going to kill the Gulams? Oh, she's actually pulling back. She's steering a little bit. She got +1 ranged armor.
Maybe it just kicked in.
She's getting spearmen. Maybe the food for Ayubit is 400 per minute. That's not a lot, but she does have 7 Gulams. So Peps has a pretty good timing here to age up and potentially defend. Now the good thing is all her food and gold is not in the main base. So if these units come in, they actually have nothing to kill. So she can just run around and buy herself some time to age up. But Lyra just needs to find where the villagers are at so she can actually do some real damage.
What we really need to see is we need to see these horses being pulled back, and then attack. Oh
that's
no!
a cancel.
No, she's like, do I need to make resources? I don't know what she decided. What did she decide? And we see the rams coming in, boys. This is going to be Ramadam.
And those are not chiropractors.
Those are not chiropractors whatsoever.
Not at all.
They are just rams. And we know that there's going to be more than one. Please, guys. Otherwise, I just sound like I'm wrong the whole time. And that is going to be a distraction. Let me just quickly...
Just one is all good. Just one is all good. She just wants to put some pressure. Maybe kill a production building. Maybe kill a cistern. And the Gulams, like I said, they still don't really have a response. There's only 3 horses remaining. The longbows are doing a little bit of a target fire, a little bit of a TC garrisoning, but the Gulam numbers are increasing. Now we're up to 8, and more upgrades are coming in, and she finds the landmark, and I'm not sure if she's going to be able to finish that one.
And she doesn't. She calls out. Or she taps out, calls out, lol.
Wow.
She taps out. Calls it a day.
And we have our champion.
We have our champion. The first Whamenqt goes over to our French player, Lyralia. Now, just keep in mind, Peps put up a really good fight. She is all the way in a freaking far time zone. This girl put up a huge fight to play this late in the day. That is absolutely insane. The performance we've seen today, and I'm really excited to see these players going forward and seeing what they can bring to the table in our league. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in for the tournament, but we have an interview with Lyralia coming up soon. So let's just see if we can get her on. But look at that, the military account. Oh, that is explosive, really. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Beasty.
The French players, listen, they might not be doing too well in the men department, but Whamen, goddamn.
The French player is not good in the what?
Not doing too well in tournaments in the men department, but
that's
in
a
the women department,
this.
they're destroying. It's a destruction.
It's a distraction.
But congrats. I mean, well played. Like I gotta say, she is playing the game in a style that's supposed to be played. Obviously, she can improve in a lot of things, but it's a lot better to be diamond with this kind of style than to be a diamond that plays weird or cheeses or just like super defensive and stuff like that. Because in the long run, you kind of have to be aggressive and push your opponent. So a good style just needs more practice to get conquer and above.
Okay. Well, I mean, this means that there's just such low barriers to improvements. I mean that in a sense of you just need to get the low hanging fruit. There are so little things that you need to work on to get there because you already have an amazing foundation. You play a ton of civilizations. It is wonderful, and I mean this for all of our top four, even our top eight. These girls have definitely shown us what it is like and what the female community has to show. And this just in. Lyralia on Discord. Hello.
Hi. Hi, guys.
How do you feel after playing 5 million matches in one day?
I have a huge headache, actually. But yeah, it was really fun, and it was really nice to do a tournament with a big organization. So yeah, I'm really glad I did it, actually.
It's actually quite funny because we thought this was going to be a very like KW kind of cup, and it turned into like this whole community thing that everybody just participated in. So thank you for joining, and I'm very glad. And I've heard about you until now, but I don't think we've ever interacted. Are you also still streaming actively?
No, I stopped streaming like a few months ago, but yeah, I kind of came to your stream sometimes, and I think Yabo also talked to me about you a lot. So I stopped streaming. I had not the time anymore, so unfortunately, I just stopped. However, I just kept playing Age of Empires, of course, all the time, actually.
Yabo always talks about you as well. Every time I have a conversation with him, he mentions like, you're a pumper, and I'm like, yeah, because I'm always saying like, oh, we need more girls playing. He's like, yeah, she's so good. So
Yeah. That's why the tournament is a really great idea, and also what you did for the few months coming, it's a really good idea. So thank you for that.
no worries, and I'm really glad. Are there things that you're thinking about in your performance that you're going to focus on for the future?
Yeah, well, I guess I'm having trouble with the macro, so maybe I really need to work on that. Because I don't know if you saw, but sometimes I had like 1,000 of one resource and the other was like 200. It's really bad. So I need to focus on that more. And there are some civilizations I don't know how to play yet, like Mongols or and English. So maybe also train that. But with the DLC, it's become a bit hard. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that. I think macro and more civilizations because I like it. I like that.
Beasty was really impressed by the fact that you could play so many as well. Like on your player card, it was completely opposite of what we saw in the game.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I said it was not the right thieves actually, but yeah, I played Abbasid so much at the beginning of the game 2 years ago. So now I just have Abbasid, but I don't play them anymore.
I have a question that
Yeah.
everyone wants to know. Which civ
Yeah.
is the most OP?
What?
Which civ is the most OP in the game?
Oh, in my opinion,
Mhm.
uh, I guess at the moment it's Joan of Arc. I
Ah,
guess.
okay.
But honestly, I think the FC of IUBIT is really, really strong. And I don't know how you would do to counter that. I thought about Delhi, but really, it's really, really hard to beat that, the FC of IUBIT. I don't know what you think about that, Beasty.
I mean, I might stream after. We can play a game and I'll show you. I can play. You can pick a civ and we'll do one game. But
Yeah, sure.
in general, you have to pressure the gold, and if you stop the gold, the IOBIT kind of falls apart a little bit. But also, eventually, the biggest weakness is IOBIT has to go out on the food on the map, and they have usually no any protection on the villagers. So actually, the best way to play against it is to be like super aggressive on their food and gold, which is kind of counterintuitive because they're attacking you at the same time. But yeah,
What Civ would you pick against IUBIT?
Delhi is really good because
Okay.
Ghazi Raiders kill Gulams and Camel Lancers. So even if they're making Camel Lancers, you can just make Ghazi Raiders.
Mm, okay. Well, I'm open to try that one day if you want.
Sure.
Luckily, we have the support of a very, very good player that can help out when we need.
Right.
Yeah, indeed.
And I'm glad also, listen, I'm glad also you're carrying the French flag. You know, that they're not doing too well right now in the scene. But you know, you are the champion, so you know, congrats.
He's dissing Marine Law, just so you know. That's always a dig at Marine Law. God damn it. Look at production putting a little crown on her head.
Wow.
There it is.
And so we make another.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for participating, and I hope to see you in the league dominating there too. Just so you know, the Conquerors are going to be joining in from there on out. So get your
Okay.
talk on, girl.
Nice. I will be there for sure.
Deal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So, guys, as a closing off statement thing, I want to remind everyone again: we will be starting our female league in about 3 weeks from now, where we will start off with some of the first games, and I'll send all the details out to the girls, the registration page in this week. And yes, to everyone who participated, helped, Angelica, everyone, Cow, Tommy, Tim, Beasty, Cascade, Adico, Life, people, humanity, the tournament, the donators, the everyone. Thank you very much for joining. And Beastie disappeared real fast. Yeah, the camera is eating him alive. He doesn't see him as a person. And this gal.
What a tournament! Do you have a date for the tournament?
Yes, I do have my dates already.
Give them the dates right.
Okay,
Now.
we're giving the dates again, Mr. Production. Are you ready?
Boom.
Mr. Production is on it. We are going to start off with the 10th of February, where we will be casting on a weekend just to bring you guys in. We won't be messing up with any other tournaments, so we'll make sure that the VODs are available on YouTube as well. And then on the 2nd of March, we will give you guys updates on these people's performances. We'll have some interviews, we'll have some live coaching with them. And then on the 30th of March will be our next big playoffs, where all these players will face off for the right positions and win their big prize money. Hell yeah.